my long-term review on the A6100 and Sony APS-C cameras in general. Hey everyone, Kwame here. I hope you're doing well. I hope your day and week has been going well. Before I jump into today's video, I do want to kind of catch up on some stuff, I guess. I am going to start putting out videos on a more consistent basis once again. I've kind of finally hit the stride. I have like all these ideas of things I want to do, so make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe and all that good stuff so you can see when these videos come out. Also, I've been writing, well, I wrote one article, but I'm going to start writing more on my website, on my blog, so make sure you head on over to kwame.me. Last week I wrote about the importance of day trips and why and how I've missed them with this whole pandemic, and I didn't realize how much I needed that for my for creativity and to get new pictures and all that good stuff. And on a non-photography related note, I've gotten into pour over coffee, and I am in love with this stuff. It's the best cup of coffee I've made at home ever, and I've been using a French press for the last couple years. And I'm not going way deep into this. I'm not weighing stuff out. I'm just kind of winging it as I pour each cup. But so far so good. I really like it, and now I can see the rabbit hole that I am slowly descending into with upping my coffee game, I guess. Alright, so today I want to talk about the A6100, a long-term review, my almost year of having this camera. So when I picked up this camera, I wanted a camera that I could record video with, but also kind of have like a backup camera to my A7 II. This is like the entry-level, consumer-level Sony camera, right? That's what it is. That's who they market it towards. This camera has been revolutionary for me, and I say that almost not as a mea culpa or anything, but when I got the camera, I thought for sure, I was coming from the Panasonic G9, love that camera, micro four thirds sensor, and then I jumped up to the full frame Sony A7 II, which I've talked about numerous times, and I thought getting the Sony A6100, it would be like a step up from the G9 and a step down from the A7 II. However, I'm blown away with the images and the video that I can get from this camera. It has been such a remarkably good camera. So I thought I was going to get the Sigma 100 to 400 millimeter lens and use it on the A7 II, and then I can also use it on the A6100. But I'm thinking I'm going to pick up the 70 to 350 again. And I know I said it's a great lens, but I wanted something on my A7 II. And I think that's changed. Well, I know that's changed. This camera has changed my mind on that, because the autofocus and eye detect on this camera is so much better than the A7 II. And yes, I could get the A7 III or a newer full frame camera, but the image quality from this camera, for what I do, and I think for what a lot of people who watch this video will do, is perfectly fine. Like, I'm using both a full frame and an APS-C camera, and I'm not like comparing the two. Of course there's going to be differences, but for the majority of the pictures I'm going to take, and when I step back and think about how my pictures are going to be seen and the longevity of the image file and all that stuff, it's good. I'm not even saying like it's you're settling. No, it's good, period. Like, it's good paired with the good lenses. The A6100, 6400, 6600, they're great lenses. They're great cameras, period. Like, they're a great camera for APS-C. And I see a lot of Fuji cameras getting love, and people talking about how much they love their Fuji cameras, and there's probably something to that with all the knobs and dials and things like that, and of course their film simulation. But if you're just into taking pictures, documenting your family's life or your life, and documenting where you go, you don't even have to have a family, just documenting your life, a Sony APS-C camera is perfectly fine. And I'm gonna go on a limb and say a Canon camera will be good, Nikon cameras will be good, Fuji cameras are good, Sony cameras are good. We're at a point right now with cameras that they're all really good. It's just what flavor do you want, right? I have the A7 II. I'm not getting rid of it. We'll talk about that at the end. But I'm probably going to pick up a second APS-C camera, a Sony APS-C camera. So I don't, it's either going to be the 6400 or 6600. I haven't decided which one yet. But, you know, once video and video jobs start coming back up again, a second Sony APS-C cameras in the future, in my future, and they will probably be the cameras I use, you know, going forward with I like to have two cameras so I don't have to change lenses, and I could easily see carrying two Sony A64, like the A6100 and the A6400 easily, or even the A6600, so that way there's built-in image stabilization in the camera body itself. Let's take a look at some pictures I pulled to show you what I'm talking about here. So over here in Lightroom, you can see I've created an album that that has all the A6100 pictures in there, and you can see here we have a few lenses that I've used it with, so we can look at specific lenses, even full frame lenses I've used this with, and it looks really good. Let's just take a look at this one. So this is I think this is the this is with the 55 to 200, like the entry level kit lens. I mean, it's pretty good, you guys. This is a pretty good image, and again, I'm not going to be printing this up to 1,000 pictures. It will probably be seen on a on a computer or some kind of screen. It looks good. Pictures of our family here. I mean, looks good. Looks really good. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this one. This is a good image here. Right, pelican flying in the water. I did get this pelican. I overexposed it a little bit, but you can see here, really good image. We'll go full frame so you can see good image. This is a picture that I would probably print and possibly hang up, right? And yes, it is an APS-C sensor, so you can't zoom in all that much, right? But let's take a look at this. This here is a cropped image of a bigger of this bigger file. You can see here I had something on my lens, but you can see you can crop in quite a bit and still retain detail. Now if I really wanted to, I could always run this through Topaz denoise, Topaz sharpen AI, or if you once Lightroom gets updated with Adobe's new image sharpening and like image resizer, you can always get this double the size essentially, and if you really want to print it big. But not my pictures are printed that big. I make photo books at the most, so they're not going to be really big prints. So knowing that, I'm really happy with the way this camera looks. Now let's look at the 28 to 200. Some of these pictures. Again, this is a full frame lens on this camera. Now this is a tip, so it's not straight out of camera, but you can see here, great detail on these pictures. Let's find one that's, so this is straight out of camera. Really good detail. These are like hundreds of pelicans flying in the air, and you can see it looks really, really good. And again, I don't typically pixel peep. I'm not gonna, I don't look one-to-one to try to see all the detail and things. I'm usually just looking at the picture itself. And then let's look at some recent pictures. So this was from a couple weeks ago. This is a picture I really, really enjoyed. This picture, the only thing I don't like about this picture is this deer here is out of focus a little bit, but other than that, this is a really good picture. And I believe this is cropped in. So I'm even cropping in on this picture, and you're still getting a good amount of detail, a good amount of clarity. Like everything about this picture is good. And again, APS-C sensor. Let's look at the 70 to 300. So you can see here with this image, loads of detail. I mean, this is really good. This is at 156 or 146, sorry, ISO 800. So I could have zoomed in more and gotten more, a closer picture. I could have lowered the ISO. I don't know why it was at 800, but you know, it looks really, really good. This is a printable image. Like, this is something I would easily print on for myself, and I could even, if I wanted to, crop this in and do like a 1-to-1. I don't even think I've edited this picture. This is just straight out of camera. Go in here and do something like this. I would like the center. I like how it looks. Let's just say I want to do that. That still looks really good, you guys. Like, there's detail, there's clarity, like there's everything that I want. Looks fine. Like, I'm really blown away by how well this looks. Even with the kit lens, you know, this is the 16-50 lens that you get for family pictures. You know, we're just early on last summer, we went to go get ice cream, brought this camera and this little lens. You could pop on the Samyang 24 f2.8 and this turns into like a 35mm equivalent lens. I mean, excellent quality. You're getting good images. This is a good street photography setup. You know, it's blown away with how well, I missed focus on this one, but that's fine. Blown away by how well this looks. I mean, just look at this one. This is a good picture. You know, again, it's not gonna win an award, but just showing what we do at home and how we are. And then with the 18-105, this is the lens I use pretty much all the time. These pictures are, you know, really good from landscapes. Now this is a panoramic, like 3 or 4 images stitched together, but still, you know, good amount of detail. Having here, get a nice picture of my wife and son. I can get a picture of myself, and then you have the picture of these bison. So again, this camera, it's really good. And this is from this weekend. We took a quick trip up to Boulder, and I brought just this camera and 18-105. And I was able to, you know, walk around and get nice landscape pictures of the mountains, which is always wonderful and always nice to get out and see these views. And then also, you know, we went down to Pearl Street in Boulder and just walked around and then picked up some snacks for the ride back home. And again, looks really good, other than my composition, which we can change here. I don't know, you guys, do you do this? But I always shoot a little bit like angling this way, like this. I do it all the time. I don't know. So there you go. Overall, I'm really happy with the A6100. It's a remarkable camera, like truly remarkable. It's the fact that it's an entry-level camera, and for what I would use it for, like for personal work, for professional work, I could easily get the work that I do done with this camera. Again, shoots 4K, so if I ever do want to shoot 4K, I can do that. The image quality is really good. I don't know what else to say other than I really like this camera. So, you know, if someone was to ask me today if they should pick up the A6100 or any Sony APSC camera versus a full frame camera, unless you know that you need the resolution of a full frame camera, an APS-C camera will work perfectly fine. Now, I'm not getting rid of my Sony A7 II. This has been a grail camera, which sounds weird, but I've always wanted this particular camera for a long time. And now that I own it, yeah, there's the A7 III, A7S III, A7R II. Like, there's all these other full frame cameras that will do better quality images, but I really like this camera and I'm keeping it. But what I will be getting are more prime lenses. So I'm going to pick up the Samyang 35mm lens, probably the Viltrox 85mm lens, maybe the Tamron 17-28. This will be the camera that I use to document like our life. So when we go out, we hang out with family and stuff, this is the camera and a little prime lens that I will be bringing with me everywhere. I know I said I got this camera to do that because it's smaller, but I just love the image quality out of this camera. I just love using it. Like, I literally have it sitting on my desk right here, just so sometimes I'll pick it up and just hold it and take a picture of what I'm working on. I kind of take a picture of my setup with the 24mm Samyang lens. I'm excited about the 35mm lens, getting that right away, because I think that's the focal length that I like working with, and doing street photography. And I do want to get more into like street photography, and so this would be a great camera for that. And again, in low light, the full frame camera is obviously better, so having a camera that can do low light pictures will be good. However, you know, let's be honest, you hear that said a lot. I'm not taking a lot of low light pictures. Like, I'm just looking back at the pictures I do take over the years. Unless we're traveling and like going overseas to visit family, most of the pictures are taken plenty of daylight, and so I'm not worried about using an APS-C camera for the way that I shoot. I know this is a longer video, but I wanted to get it out there because I've been thinking about this a lot, and I see a lot of people talking about their Fuji cameras and how great they are, and I'm sure they are really good cameras. I'm not taking anything away from that, but I think the Sony APS-C cameras are really good also. I think they are slightly underrated for how well they perform, especially in video. If you're doing any kind of hybrid photography and video work, you know, these APS-C cameras are great, and the lenses weigh nothing. Like, they're really small. That 70 to 350 is nothing compared to the Sony 100 to 400. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you guys think? Am I crazy, or do you know, if you have a APS-C camera, are you happy with it, or are you looking to jump ship and upgrade to full frame? Thank you as always for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. I will have a link down below to my website where you can see these pictures on like a bigger screen. Also, you know, if you are interested, you could read my little blog post about day trips and why I love them so much. And I will see you next one. Talk to you later. Bye bye.